Hey sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. I've said this many times on my channel. I love picking up cheap or inexpensive vintage cards for my collection. Give me a mid-grade, maybe a collector grade card with nice eye appeal in which I can save some money versus buying a higher grade copy. I'm all over that. It allows me to stretch my hobby budget to allow me to buy more cards for my collection. Which brings up another point. You see a lot of videos on YouTube that either the person buys or talks about a card that sells for 4, 5, 6, even 7 figures. Typically, these are these modern cards, these shiny rookie auto refractor patch cards, which is fine. Hey, if you have that type of budget and want to spend 6, 7 figures on a card, more power to you. But for me, with the budget that I have, finding cards that are inexpensive, great. Because again, it allows me to stretch my hobby budget. And it goes to show that you can still build a really nice collection, whether it be modern cards or vintage cards, and not have to spend a lot of money. And if you're like my buddy Jake, Legends Never Die, you can buy raw cards and save even more money. Now I choose to go the path of graded cards. That's just what I want to do. But to save even more hobby dollars, you can even collect raw cards. So today I'm going to be showing off 4 recent pickups that each card has cost me less than $30. We're talking about the winning bid plus shipping plus tax. So all in, I got these cards for less than $30. In fact, I think one of them was just under $20. So in total, about $110 all in for these 4 vintage cards. They are, again, mid. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them are collector grade. But mainly, I was looking at eye appeal, and I was able to get them what I thought for a really decent amount. I'm not a high-end collector, so I'm not worrying about, hey, this particular card I want, I want to spend a lot of money to get a really nice example. And maybe with the Kari Stremski cards I'm looking to buy, that's one small exception. But generally speaking, I'll go for the lower grade to save me money. And so what if the card's worth $30 when higher grade copies may be worth $100 or $200? If I were to do that, then for my $110 that I spent, I may have been able to afford just one of those 4 cards in a higher grade and wouldn't have been able to pick up the other 3. So with that, I'm going to turn the camera around and show off these 4 recent pickups that cost me less than $30 each. All right, I'm going to start off with the newest card and then work my way back. First one here is the 1979 Topps Reds team checklist in a PSA 8. I've been trying to get for the 78, 79, and 80s. For those, I have been trying to get collector grade, maybe even higher for some of these cards. I feel I can still pick them up for a decent price. Now, maybe some of the key rookie cards I've dropped down in a grade, but I am following the PSA registry in terms of the Hall of Famers in a particular set. Sparky Anderson, while not getting into the Hall of Fame as a player, he got in as a manager, and these 79 team checklist cards feature a picture of the manager, in this case Sparky Anderson. So this was one that I needed toward the Hall of Fame run for 1979 Topps. This is a nice example here, fairly well centered. And in some of these 79 Topps team checklist cards, the team image, sometimes the registry is off, they're a little bit blurry or whatever, but this is a pretty clean image there, and a nice image there of Sparky Anderson. And here is the back. Typically for these 79 team checklists, for whatever reason, a lot of them are off center left to right. This is no exception, but actually is fairly well centered compared to other copies that I've seen where that right border there is sometimes nearly non-existent. So overall, clean back and a nice Reds team checklist card featuring Hall of Famer Sparky Anderson. This is the one that I believe I picked up for less than $20 all in. All right, the next one, beyond the PSA registry for Hall of Famers, I have included some non-Hall of Famers that I feel should be in the Hall of Fame, and added that to my list of cards I want to go after. And this is one of those players that I feel should be in the Hall of Fame, and it is the 1977 Topps Pete Rose. These 77s, as I've mentioned in previous videos, have been somewhat hard for me to come by based on buy it now prices or auction prices or higher grade copies that show up. Case in point, this 77 Topps, there was a group of cards going out. One was a PSA 5, one a PSA 6, and one a PSA 7. I typically see 7s and 8s, which, again, for this card, could I have afforded a 7? Yep, probably. Could I have saved money buying a really sharp-looking 6 like this one here? Yes. So I bid on the PSA 6 copy and was able to win that. And again, all-in price under $30. Now, the one sort of negative thing about this, but it doesn't bother me that much, is this listing only had a picture of the front of the card. So I did not see how well centered the back was. But again, the front is really well centered for a 6. And again, all in under $30 for Pete Rose. Nice looking card. Actually, the PSA 7 had, I think, 1 or 2 of those fisheye ink blotches on the card. And I think for the PSA 5 copy, there's some other registry issues with the colors or something like that. So actually, in terms of eye appeal, the 6 was the nicest looking card in my opinion. But the back, it's definitely off center on the back. You can still see the border on the right hand side. Clean back. So again, this off centering on the back does not bother me. I still probably would have gone after the card even if I had seen a picture of the back. So again, not really worried about it, but it definitely is off center left to right. But overall, great example of a Pete Rose card, and one that I've been searching for quite a while, along with many other 77 Topps cards that I want to add to my collection. So there's the second one. All right, for the third one, this is a shout out to my buddy Don, Don's Field of Dreams cards, and John Mangini picked up this 1969 Topps Willie Stargell in a PSA 5. Again, under $30 all in. Check out that centering. I think that top right hand corner there, you can see has definitely a ding or a little crease in it, which probably brought it down. Again, the lower corners as well, but with the white border, you really can't tell unless you look really closely that there's anything wrong with the corners. Obviously there are, which dropped it down to a 5. Definitely not the centering. Really nice centering there on that 69, and look how bright that back is. Well centered on the back, not perfect, but hey, really, again, sharp looking back there, nice and clean, exactly what I'm looking for. Again, all in for less than $30. Absolutely. So there's the 69 Topps Willie Stargell that goes along with the 68 Willie Stargell that I think I picked up. I may have picked that one up in a 6. I forget. But so I have those 2 years of Willie Stargell. I'm still missing his 1980. Again, that's one of those ones that I don't see show up very often, and when I do, just again, I'm a penny pincher, just a little bit more than I would want to pay for a PSA 8 for his card there, but I believe I have his 77, 78, and 79, along with the 68 and now the 69. And now for the last one. I mentioned earlier in this video, Jake, Legends Never Die. He's a big Atlanta Braves fan. So we have here, now this isn't from Atlanta, this is from the Milwaukee Braves, but still a Braves player. Jake, do you know who this may be? Picked up the 1962 Warren Spahn PSA 5. Again, not quite collector grade, but fairly well centered, and you can't see too much chipping on that, wood grain border, maybe the top right corner. Again, maybe very slight diamond centering, but geez, overall, can't complain for a PSA 5, in my opinion. I've seen multiple copies of these, and I was tempted to bid on them in the past, and it always appeared to me that for whatever reason, these 62 Topps Spawns seem to be, I don't want to say dirty, but I was expecting like a cleaner white for his uniform. Now, if you look really closely, you can see that maybe there's some ink dirty. I mean, it's very, very minor, but no, that I've seen multiple copies, even higher grade copies, and this is how sort of dark the card is. I thought, again, maybe it was some printing or coloring issues, but this seems to be the standard image and look and eye appeal of the 62 Topps Warren Spahn. And here is the back. Again, fairly well centered, nice, clean, crisp, no creases. Again, just a nice example of a 62. I don't have many 62s in my collection, so this adds to the small number that I have. I've been picking up a few 61s, but this is one of the few 62s that I have, and it is of the great Warren Spahn, and again, less than $30 all in for that pickup. So there you go. 4 cards that I've added to my vintage collection, all under $30 each. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. Have you picked up some inexpensive graded vintage cards lately? I would like to know that as well. But yeah, that's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.